hear the drums, you know it comes. It's us. We're back. Those drums, it was a really good intro. I mean, look, I just want to say this. We've got a good comment here from Stephanie Griffiths about the thumbnail tonight. I don't know, I haven't seen it, but do you want to describe what it is?
It's just got a title on it. It's just something that we can read, I think.
Okay.
I don't think it was any more than normal. Oh yes, it was. Yeah. That's it's all right. Yeah, it's got 2 titles on it. All right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bad
It's got that bullet hole as well.
A bullet hole?
Yeah, like the Man United agenda logo. The same one that Mr. B's got in the top right of his very new busy background.
Yeah, very flash.
You can tell I had nothing else to do today, right?
Well, you're doing it with one hand, remember? So that is
get lost, yeah.
Very hard. I'm hosting tonight. I haven't been on StreamYard for a long time, but I'm going to host. So go easy on me, guys. I will be reading the comments, so make sure you make them good, and I will catch them and read them out for you. First of all, I just want to say big up to Bath Time. Great show. I really enjoyed the show last night. Hopefully tonight's going to be good as well. We've just seen 2 League Cup semi-finals, and that's why we're late, to doing the late show. But how are you, Bath Time? You had a good day?
Yeah, I have had a good day. Thank you very much. How was your day, been?
Yeah, I'm cool. Nice and cool. Back on StreamYard, feeling good. Got a bit more control now. I can read the comments and all them kind of thing. Cut people if I want to. So be careful, guys. I wanna. I feel like Alan Sugar. You're fired. That's those sort of things. So don't mess around tonight. Mr. B, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I watched the game. I think there probably should have been maybe a send it off, but it wasn't my team. So I could watch it with a smile on my face, with no aggression, and just think, oh well, that's another decision that they maybe got wrong. But we could have been in this, we could have been playing today. I'm glad we've had the week off. All in all, there's been quite a bit of excitement today to talk about. It just never stops. I don't understand how we can churn out these 365 days of the year, man. It's just incredible. But yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yes, big up. I'm going to go through some comments now. Just greet everybody. Got Jale in as well. It sounds like Eriksen's leaving in the window. He's also saying here, if they do remove Casemiro, Eriksen and Rashford, we'll be saving the club 41.5 million a year, so 21 million until the summer. That's a lot of money. So when you look at it like that, it is. Big up to Bilal. He's unfortunately not able to join us. He's leaving, so we'll see you next time, maybe tomorrow. Stephanie Griffiths, how are you? Big up to Bilal and Jale. She's isolating us. She's isolating them and leaving us out. So we're not going to say too much about that. Big up to Andrew Williams. Hope you're doing well, Andrew. He says Spurs are like United, can turn it on now and again. And obviously we talked about the thumbnail. That's lovely. Yabba, Mr. B, and no bath time. Stephanie Griffiths is here saying big up to the panel. Thank you. You did seek us out. Oh, here we go. And then how you doing? Bath time with Vaughan. Here we go. So Jale is saying here, I'm on this time. Good day. I'm reading stuff I wrote 2 hours ago. Where's Jale? Where are you based? Big up to We Deserve Better. How you doing, bro? So yesterday Arsenal, today Liverpool. Happy days. Yes, it's good to see. Bath time was saying yesterday about a Tottenham Newcastle final. That'd be one for the neutrals. Again, it's saying big up to the panel. Thank you. And we've got Ed Mayhem in the house as well. So an amazing win for Spurs. Great goal. Big up the Man United agenda crew. And Grace, how are you doing? Obviously, Bart's in the house as well. I hope I didn't miss you. And Agile Beast and Subvits as well. I think that's about everybody. Let's get the show started. Let's get this party started. I don't know the agenda. I've seen the thumbnail. Let's talk about Kobe, something about Casemiro. Before we start, I just want to ask you guys a couple of questions. First one, just be punchy on this one. A lot of complaints about from Arsenal fans. They're moaning about their manager, Arteta. Does he make too many excuses? He's talking about the ball yesterday. It's a different ball in the League Cup to what they played in Premiership. And he's sort of trying to suggest that the ball was too light, too flighty, and that's why they didn't score. Are you calling bullshit on that?
Not really. That's standard manager stuff. Just learned it off Pep. Just say something ridiculous, and all the pressure comes on you.
Good shout. Mr. B, do you agree with it?
Deflection, yeah, I agree. That's a Jose one.
Yeah,
That's one
Yeah.
top draw.
I didn't consider that. That's a good one actually. Yeah.
Doesn't
I mean, they're footballers. They can piss off. Like, I mean, it's not like it's what's that ball called, the Jubilani, the one from South Africa that like had its own gravity or something that Diego Forlan scored all them goals from. He's just taking the pressure off his team because they were bloody shocking, and they should they should be much better.
Okay, fair enough. I want to say hi to John, John Lowry. How you doing? He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well there. You and your son. Yes, United fan as well. You know, your children have to follow you. Whoever you support, the children have to support as well. I know some households where they allow their children to support other clubs. Really bizarre. I don't know how they get away with that. I'd get the belt out. Agile Beast is saying, after life goals. We've got, does anyone really care about Arsenal? They've been irrelevant since 2004. Okay, we won't discuss them. And obviously, Arsenal's been poor. What about today's game, Mr. B? I mean, you said you watched it. Any thoughts? Because we get into Liverpool flying high. We've dented their confidence, given them the blueprint of how to play against them, maybe at the weekend. Do you think Liverpool sort of going off the board? They had players injured as well. And what did you think about that incident with Uruguayan Spurs midfielder? It looks like he had a stroke.
Bentancur.
Yeah.
I thought he got kicked in the head.
No. It's a lot more. Looks like Ericsson kind of incident. He just.
I don't think it's an Ericsson one. I watched it again on Twitter, and his jaw is all over the place as the kick comes in. He makes contact on it, and it looks. I'd say it looks more like a kind of stroke, to be honest, than his heart going like more neurological. Yeah, it looks like. I mean, it's bad, but it's not. I don't think. I mean, I'm obviously not that kind of doctor, but it's not like his heart's gone or something. It looks like it's something to do with his brain, and wish him the best of luck.
It's good. I mean, at this top level, you've seen the ambulance guys and everyone there on cue. And in a matter of minutes, he was getting stretched off the pitch and getting treatment as well. So we do wish him the best, all from everyone on the Man United agenda, I'm sure. It's worrying, though. I mean, remember what happened to Vivian Foe? I think when you delay these things, now there's things in place to make sure they action it straight away.
There's that boxer as well, wasn't there? Got hit on the I can't remember his name. He got a hit on the back of the head, and over the course of 24 hours, got paralysed. Like really nasty stuff.
Oh, so he went home, and then that's when he.
Yeah, his brain swelled up and things. But I've just seen we deserve better putting a story in that I haven't heard about, but looks fun.
Saying here, Maguire been banned from driving 85 and a 50. Okay, wow.
It's the fastest he's ever moved.
Any thoughts on the game before we go into Man United issues? Tottenham, Liverpool. I mean, these guys are getting depleted though with injuries and everything. I think they're struggling.
Good. When we had injuries last season, everybody said, "Oh, it didn't matter. You're supposed to play." And now they've got a couple of players injured because he keeps trying to kill them with hamstrings and the fitness that they're running. Everybody's worried about injuries. I don't care. I'll be honest. Like nobody cared about us when we had injuries. I don't care.
Fair enough. All right, so. Go on, sorry, Bath time, yeah.
I didn't really enjoy the game very much, to be honest. A bit itty and bitty. Bissouma, did well in a bit. Kulusevski looks a bit burnt out. I'd like to see Ange doing well, because Spurs are normally a team that produce good games, but this is Liverpool's difficult part of the season. They've got Accrington Stanley at the weekend, which they should do. But then, sorry?
No worry. Ian Rush.
Right. Yeah, but then they've got Forest.
Don't you know the advert?
My dad's told me about this advert, but no, I don't.
That's fine. That's no problem. That's fine.
It's bad.
Are they actually really playing Accrington Stanley?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we've been through this. The FA Cup third round is the most fixed it's ever been. Arsenal, Manchester United, Peterborough, Everton tomorrow. And you know who
Young could be playing against his son.
Exactly. Liverpool, Accrington Stanley, Millwall,
Man City and Salford.
Do you think the BBC are sort of helping out here. Have a word. Let's give us something to talk about. Give us a story in these games.
Yeah, well, there's just so many. There's so many story games. I'm surprised like MK Dons aren't playing Wimbledon or something.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, with all them non-league clubs and lower league clubs, I'm just disappointed when we got Arsenal. I was upset about that. I thought,
Well, we could end their season.
yeah, true. Okay, we get on to that. Obviously, that's later in the week. We'll be discussing that. But what's in the news? What's on the grapevine, guys? Start me off.
Can you see the title of the show, Yabba?
No, it's something to do with. All right, I'll tell you what I know. Casemiro could be going to Saudi Arabia.
It's right at the top of the screen. Look at the top of the screen, and you can see the title.
All right, Ahmad contract signed. All right. I see it. You guys at home can't see it, but let me start off then. All right. We discussed Ahmad yesterday. There was some suggestion that Chelsea are interested, and they actually are interested, but it was all about Ahmad, a few delays about the contract. We don't know how much he's going to sign for, but currently he's on, 20k? And he wants to sign a long-term contract with Man United. Looks like the headline says there, Ahmad contract signed. There's no question mark, so I believe it's a done deal. Tell us more about time. What do you know about this? What's the developments there?
I think that it's not necessarily the contract is signed, but there's been major progress on it. I just think actually it has been signed.
It's just got the earpiece in.
It'll be signed tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's
got a hotline to the club in his ear.
Yeah, it's a 5-year contract. No idea about the wages. Okay. So that would be fun to speculate with. Do you think he breaks 100 grand?
Well, Mr. B, what were you saying yesterday? Because you mentioned Euro is on 170 grand.
Yeah, but he's not comparing himself to Euro, and I don't think his agents were going to be comparing himself to Euro. So, I would say 90 grand, 90 to 100 maybe. Yeah, tops, 100 tops, with maybe performance related bonuses or whatever they have. But I would say between 90 and 100. I think it'll be cool. I think he's proved it. So we'll see. Yeah, I would say, I would go for that. About 100 grand.
I think 100 grand's what he's worth.
Mr. B saying we'll see, but Stevie Wonder can't see, and Steffi saying signed, still delivered. That's a Stevie Wonder song. Sorry, you know what I'm like when I'm host. Darius, apparently MK Dons played Wimbledon.
F off.
Can you believe it?
Such a fix.
All right, so Mr. B, you're saying 100G.
Yeah.
Ahmad signed a mad deal, apparently. Ahmad. Are you talking about Kobe or Ahmad?
Ahmad!
Oh my God.
It's wordplay. It's a mad deal. A mad deal. What's wrong with you?
Oh my God. So wait. Don't call me. I've been stitched up. I need to do my homework before I come on. So we're not talking about Kobe. We're talking about a mad deal contract signed. Please help me out.
Yeah, Ahmad has signed a contract till 2030.
Not 2030.
Yes, 5-year contract.
5-year deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
How much do you reckon? Right,
You're hosting the show.
How much?
Are you going to ask how much we reckon he's on?
Yeah. I thought we were talking about Kobe.
I think he's on. I would think he's on around 100 grand a week, Yabba.
Yeah, so do I.
I apologise.
How much do you think he's on? This is Ahmad.
All right, so obviously we signed him for 30+ million from Atalanta a couple of years ago, and I didn't know how much he was on. I've never sort of took time to look, but I imagine he would have been on about under 40, under about 20 grand or something like that for his age. Now, with his performances and marking himself in the team, I think anything around 100 grand would be reasonable. Does anyone know exactly how much he's going to earn?
Probably not until tomorrow. Once it's all official, but it's done. It's done. It's signed. It's done. So
what would be the max you'd put on him?
100. I mean, look, he's done a little bit. Needs to do a lot more, but we want to secure him for long term because he seems like he's one of our better players now in the future. So 100 grand would be fair, I think. And then with, you can increase the deal based on performances. I think that's the way to go forward.
Yeah, I think anything over 120 would worry me, but you know, you do it like because every time like a squad player or a player of Ahmad standing gets a new contract, it always increases. So like up to 120k, I'm all right with, but with a 5-year contract, how much do you think like he would be worth like in the transfer market? Like, do you think we're close to that 30 million?
Oh no, we're past that. We'll be over that. They would pay more than that for Ahmad now.
Do you think
I think
so? I'm not sure.
yeah, I think they would. I think they would pay, and they pay on future. I mean, he's earned the contract, and I think other
Yeah,
teams would be looking at that. They did say 2 other teams came in for him this month. They haven't mentioned the teams. Maybe that'll come out.
that'll be Italian teams.
Yeah, a couple. Well, if it's Italian teams, then whatever. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, it probably would be, to be fair, but not a problem. Not a problem
60
at all.
million.
Who put down? It was 60.
We deserve better. I said 60 million.
I think that's fair.
Geez, genuinely, I think you'd be hard pressed to get over 30 for Ahmad.
No, I reckon we get. I reckon we could do a 40, 45.
Yeah, but we're talking
if we
about how much
push
it's valued at, though, isn't it? We're not talking about who would actually pay that money in this sort of market.
Well, that's how you value players.
No, surely not.
Yeah, you value them off the market.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say to yourself, like, because remember Declan Rice, he was never valued at 100 million. He was valued at about 70 million based on other players, but he ended up going for 100 million because he was people really wanted him. So I don't think that value thing really stands up because.
All right, so what would you accept for Ahmad then?
What would I accept for him to sell him?
Yeah.
I think he's a good talent. I think he'd be a good talent for any top side. His close control, his ability, what he's got, his potential, and his attitude is good as well. That's something that's important. I think he's really a valued player. And word around football, we say, yeah, he's a player. The most opponents would say he's got something about him. So I'd say 60+ million he would be valued at the moment. I don't think we deserve better too far.
But what would you accept for him? What's the minimum that you would accept on summer? 75 million.
Yeah, I would accept
Jesus Christ!
This is an all-timer tonight from you.
Wow.
What, are you guys
75 mil?
You don't rate him that highly?
No, not 75 million.
75. Do you know what you can buy with 75 mil?
Cole Palmer's a 75 million pound player.
I think it's more than that.
Like,
wow.
Ahmad, I'd take 35, I think, for him.
No.
Yeah, we need money.
No, I'm not taking 35. I'm not interested.
If it meant keeping Kobe.
Yeah, forget about needing money. We don't need it that bad.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. And we might have signed him up on a long-term contract to protect his price and be looking to, see what offers are going. Because if anyone's coming in with over 50 million, we should absolutely sell him.
Okay, well, look, pantomime season is over. Stop this. Yes, we do. No, we don't. Back and forth. Let's go to the comments. Rich Sports, how you doing? Or RD United TV, sorry. He's saying we deserve better. That sounds like a reasonable price when he said about 60 million. A madness, Stephanie, with a wordplay. Yes, it's 4.5 year deal, says we deserve better. Ahmad will also now be Maguire's designated driver. That's definitely click this to send in for the Streamer Awards of 2025. Yes, Andrew, I'm messing up. Ahmad is a 60 million player in my mind. Steph saying here, deals should be dependent on first team starts. Needs that what's being put in the contract. We couldn't put in the contract. She's saying there. Xerxes should be his driver. He needs the practice. He will be one by the time he's 26. He's quick, he's strong, gets assists and scores. He's young. There you go. Great attributes. That's why you can value him that high. And his market value today is actually 25 million. Okay, all right. See me in here. Surely he's worth more than 30 million bath time, says Agile Beast. He's only 22, and we deserve better saying minimum I'd set for him is 50 million. Over to you, Mr. Beef. What would you say? I said 75.
I was
Higher or lower?
a lot lower. I do 45. I do 45. I don't. 50 tops. But I think that we will get more than 30 million from, as I said.
What's the minimum then?
Minimum?
Yeah. 35, 40?
35 at a real push, and then we're not making any money on a player who has now sort of blossomed into what we thought. Do you think we overpaid for him? I mean,
Yes.
how much we spent? 20 million on him. What were the add-ons?
I thought with add-ons it was 40 million.
Right, but what was the add-on deal? Was it that he played 150 games? Was it a Ballon d'Or winner?
I don't know.
See, this is
I'm
the
not an
problem
accountant.
this is the problem when Man United sign players. It's always the top end mark when all of their bonuses and all of everything's been hit. I don't
Would you
think he
think-
probably didn't hit any of the stuff that he had. I don't know.
But when we look at what's happened with Pereira today, so Pereira is linked with Palmeiras or someone for 20 odd million. We've got a 20% clause on that. So I don't know how it works, but on paper we should be entitled to roughly 4 million. Do you think that it would be better to sell someone like Ahmad for, say, 35 million with a 30% sell-on clause, or sell him for 45 million with no clauses?
I suppose it depends on how high you think his ceiling is going to be. I'll take 45 all in, but it'd have to be cash up front.
It's not this is Facebook Marketplace.
Look. You've got to try and strike the deal in now. You know what I mean? You want all of that money up front. You don't this 8 million a year. That ain't going to help. They can give you 30. I want 45. They can give me 40 up front. 39.99.
Yeah,
maybe we've got a deal there.
So
I think 40 million.
We signed him for 35 million with add-ons.
We didn't. We signed him for 9. We signed him for 19 plus add-ons.
Oh right. So, but it would have increased to like 35 million.
35. But as again, I want to know what the add-ons was. What was the add-ons?
I bet you League and Europe.
No.
Oh well, we're fine then.
Winning the league, winning something in Europe, but we have won 2 cups. So that could be an extra million or something. But I would think it's based off Champ Man. It's got to be goals and like proper silverware.
Yeah, he ain't done none of that. He ain't done
Nah.
none of that. I really would like somebody to I would really like to know what that deal is.
Imagine if we knew an agent that could come on soon and explain this to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be helpful?
Be careful what you ask for at half time, because I might just get my black book out and get someone on the show. Anyway,
You'd ring the wrong number.
yeah, I would at this rate, wouldn't I? Look, he's only played for us for the last 10 months. Let me say this. Is this, we've had Maguire being signed a new contract, we've had Ahmad sign a new contract. Is this a sign that players are going out of the club? They're confident players are going to be leaving the club as well then?
Yeah, but Maguire hasn't signed a new contract, has he? He's had the extension activated.
That's obviously going to, if you're looking at finances, an extension is still...
But we might be trying to sell him in the summer. We did the same thing to McTominay. We extended his contract to protect his value.
Okay. But his contract doesn't run out in the summer, though, does it? It wasn't. It was.
It would have.
His contract was running out 2025 June.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that's true.
I think that is true, because I think Lindelof and Maguire were going to be available on freeze this summer, and we activated Maguire's contract.
I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. I'll be
Right.
wrong.
We Deserve Better he's always on Transfer Market, and so is Yali. Can one of you confirm, like, when Maguire's contract would have run out if we hadn't have activated it?
Okay.
Summer.
I was. Wow, I'm really shocked by that. I'm really shocked by that. I had no idea. I thought it was only Ericsson and Lindelof, really. Anyway. So does that mean that we obviously, with Ahmad now, with a new deal, and we're also looking at Kobe, does that mean that, like, behind the scenes, Rashford or Ericsson or Casemiro are going out? That leads us on to the other big talking point here. Casemiro might be going to Saudi.
I don't think that's a might. A good old Ronaldo. He's shown his true.
Ronnie.
Yeah, he's shown his true love for the club by knowing that we're desperate for money, we're desperate to get that 385 grand off our wage bill, and his paymaster that Aldis looked like they've buckled to his demands. Apparently, they want to offer him 650 grand a week. Don't ask me why they're going to be paying him that. I don't care. And apparently, we're supposed to be getting like a 25 million, and we're looking at 25 million. Maybe it'll be less. Maybe it'll be 15. If it's 15, they'll take it anyway. But yeah, he should definitely be gone.
Let me dig out my ears. What are you saying here? Casemiro could be leaving and getting paid that much wage and a transfer fee on top of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ronnie.
Well, I think yeah, but like, because essentially what happens with finances now is you buy a player on credit. Hello, Cake, by the way. You buy a player essentially on credit, and you kind of pay a fee each season to have them. That's essentially how amortization works. Saudi have got television rights coming up this summer, so they want, like, it's not massively important to them how much money they get, but they want as prestigious a deal as possible because of, like, Ryder 2030 or whatever their plans are for the league. So essentially, I think that we will get a transfer fee because I think they're going to buy out what we owe on his contract. So that's not the wages, that's the transfer fee. And Casemiro was on a 5-year deal at about 70 million or something. So 24 million, I think, covers the rest of the money that we owe on him. And I think they'll do that. Like, that's no problem to Saudi Arabia to spend that money. And once again, we will continue our legacy of being the only club to sell to Saudi Arabia that doesn't make a profit on a player.
How can you make a profit on a player who's, like, how old is he? He's 32 maybe now? 33?
Well, we've done it twice. We did it with Alex Telles.
How old was he?
I don't know, but we didn't make any bloody money on him, and everyone else did. We sold him at a loss. So I personally, I think that this probably is going to happen. There's too much there that seems to make sense to me.
Wow, really shocked. Well, thank you, Saudi League and Riyadh season or whatever they call it. It's crazy. That's crazy money. I mean, 650 grand a week. That is outrageous. But good luck to him. Good luck to him. I never thought, when we signed him, I thought this would be his last big move, and I didn't think we'd get value for him. But you have to be impressed with this half time. I know you're saying we're taking a loss or whatever, but we're getting rid of a player and helping us to fund for better players coming in, or younger, fresher players coming into the club.
I wouldn't say I'm impressed. It's a poor signing, and I mean, Ineos have done a lot of weird stuff that I'm not completely behind, and I don't mean cutting money to charity and things, but they identified Casemiro as a poor signing. Like, they named him. Jim Radcliffe named him as a poor signing.
Yeah, before he came in, innit?
Yeah, and we wanted him off the books.
The finances are involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is that we needed to, like, clear him off the books. And they said that, like, he's a poor signing. And then we put, like, Rashford, he's been ill. He's coming into his 5th week of an illness. And we stuck him in, like, the reserves and stuff without a buyer. It just, I don't know. I think that's not the most prudent management of the football club when you're trying to shift assets for money. And I think that basically Ronaldo is doing us a solid here because, it's his league, really, isn't it? And I think that Neymar might be getting towards the end of his contract, and they need replacements. You would think that Salah is the guy that they really, really want, but God knows what's happening there. And Osimhen was someone that they really wanted, but God knows what's happening there. And Casemiro, I think, is a legend of European football and definitely a legend of South American football with what he's won. Everything makes sense, but I don't think it's anything to do with, like, prudent planning from United. I think we've absolutely fluked it.
Mr. B, I mean, just reading this, Mr. B, before you go on, we got Wheater about saying here, Casemiro, defensive midfielder, 2 years and 36 million estimated gross salary remaining on his contract with Man United, expiring in 2 years in 2026, June 2026. So, we've got a bit lucky there.
It's an awful deal, that, isn't it? I mean, this actually isn't that important to our finances, the 36 million. It's what we owe on the transfer fee that's important. Wages are treated as expenses, and they do affect calculations, but it's the transfer fees that are killing us.
Wow. So, Mr. B, I mean, look, you must be skinning teeth right now hearing all this news, because your man always talks about the wage bill and getting players out of the club. It looks like we're actioning it now.
Yeah, get them out. As I don't know which one of the chat members put down about how much money we're going to save, but we're still going to be paying some of Rashford's money, so we're not going to save that much. But yeah, I'm look, if the club, as Bath Time said, he was earmarked as a waste of money. It wouldn't have been no matter if it was Casemiro, whoever was on that big figure at that age and not playing or being in and out of the squad. They were always gonna go. The fact that they've got Sancho off, they've got Rashford off, they're gonna get Casemiro off. Bruno's lucky, and then we're hearing today that they're gonna try and shift Eriksen in January as well. I don't know how they're gonna do that, and I assume that they're just gonna let him go, and probably maybe give him half of what he's due left. He doesn't strike me as the kind of person who's gonna. I mean, I don't know him personally, and I don't know. Maybe his agent will say, "Shut your mouth, sit down, and shut your mouth for the next 6 months, and then we can make an extra couple of mil." But he wants to play, so maybe
he's probably thinking World Cup. Like Eriksen's last 2026.
Yeah, but he's still got a year after. No, he could.
No, yeah, but he wants to play, doesn't he? Like, that's what I mean. Is that he's not playing for United, and he's probably not going to play again. So he's probably thinking that he wants to be. I suspect. I don't know, but I suspect he's probably the Denmark captain, or something like that. And like, he might have been told by his manager that, like, look, I can't. Yeah, I can't pick you if you're not playing. So Eriksen, we won't get a fee for him. We don't owe a fee on him. He might just be up for getting a 3-year contract somewhere, or you never know. He might be talking to the MLS or something.
Wow. Well, I'm really happy about this, because I thought it would just be like a sour window and we just let these guys go for free. But you have to give your credit to Ineos, and I know when they first come in, people sort of had question marks, but I think they're doing all right. Apart from the Dan Ashworth thing, and people suggest that they should have got rid of Ten Hag in the summer. This is good stuff. They got good staff in. They're actioning things. They're getting rid of Rashford. There's no sentiment there. It's business. Business never personal, as they say. EPMD. Go check them out. But we just better saying here, according to a financial expert, Kieran Maguire, United owe 413 million in instalments for player transfers, as viewed by their detailed accounts from the last season, 23-24. We want to say hi quickly. Do you want to say quickly hi again to John Lowry, saying the guy who scored, Lucas Bergville, he scored for Spurs tonight. He's only 19 or 18, 19, I think. He scored the winner against Liverpool tonight. He had Charles from Man United, so he's once a Red. Kate Cadet saying some 30-year-olds still have years left in them. Unfortunately, it's not the case for Cass. Certainly not in the Prem. He just hasn't got the legs for it. So Simon Warner saying here, big up Simon Warner. Nice to see it. So Casemiro could be a potential captain if anything happens to Bruno. He's been capped quite a few times as well. And a few jokes, obviously. Andrew saying here, I used to think Casemiro ate Malacia because we didn't see him for so long. But that theory has got proven wrong. Stephanie just said Casemiro burped Malacia out, by the way, Andrew.
It's like jab of the heart they're trying to make him out to be.
Oh, dear. Here's a question from Stephanie, guys, for you two on the panel. Question, will we do any ins and outs before transfer deadline day?
You're muted, Mr. B.
I'll say Mount going.
No, Mount's not going to go anywhere. He's injured, and like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Like, loan him to? I don't know. I'm trying to think of a hospital, but I can't think of one.
St. Bart's.
Great.
Yeah, we can loan him to St. Bart's. For me, yeah, I think we're definitely going to see ins and outs. Rashford, I expect to go towards the end of the window. To be honest, like, we've seen today that Borussia Dortmund have kind of pulled out of the running. But Rashford is probably using AC Milan and Borussia Dortmund as kind of stalking horses. Now that I think that Barcelona have resolved their issues with Olmo and the other one.
No. They were saying it was too late. Apparently, they said they could get the money after the cut-off date, and the Spanish FA basically told them to get stuffed. So it's nothing that they've sorted out. They might have money, but they're not going to give them. They're not going to let them backdate the money to deal with the Elmo and the other.
Well, we should go and get Olmo on a 6-month loan then, or something.
That's what everybody's been saying.
Yeah.
Everybody will take you on a 6-month loan. It wouldn't just be us.
Yeah, but we should just go and do it. I know that's easier said than done, but why? But why not? Why can't we just go and get Dani Olmo? But I think Rashford will go towards the end of the transfer window. I think that one of Casemiro or Eriksen are going to go, and they'll be done quicker. Yeah, or both. They'll go quicker.
While you're Rashford, Simon wants to know who will put an actual ballpark figure out for Rashford. He seems to be stuck in limbo at the moment.
Well, I mean, it'll be a loan.
Yeah, it's going to be a loan. It's going to be the one that benefits him. Maybe he'll have a couple, and then they come back to the club and work out what deal is going to be best. But it sounds like Italy all the way, doesn't it? Really, to be
Tottenham
fair.
have been linked today.
Yeah, I've got a report.
He'd do a good job at Tottenham. They don't ask on to defend. He'd do all right at Tottenham.
That's true. They're saying here Tottenham, Juve, Dortmund, and AC Milan want Rashford on loan. Rashford was not with the Man United squad today. He will train individually as he recovers from the illness that kept him out Sunday. Sunday's draw. This is official news from Sky Sports and the Daily Mail as well. So it does look like, Rashford is on his way out. As each day goes by, we get closer to deadline day, and we will go bargain hunting again. So we talked about the outs, you two. What about the ins? Any rumours?
Kolo.
Who?
Kolo Muani.
Okay. Have you heard any development with that one then?
No, but this is the story that I thought. That I thought had happened, which is that I thought that they were granted permission, and they have been.
When was I heard something? Look, maybe I've missed something since the beginning. But the last that I looked at, it was this morning. To be fair.
Like, don't doubt we deserve better. This man comes in with statistics all the time. He's got a broken ankle or something, and it's just there wired up to Google like he's in the Matrix.
Okay. I mean, look, could they afford Rashford then?
Well, my understanding is that the way they got Dani Olmo in is that there is a centre half who used to play for
Christensen.
Yeah, he got injured. Yeah. And they were allowed to transfer his wages to Dani Olmo.
Bullshit.
They're such a crazy club, Barcelona. They're just absolutely mental, the things they do. They're like Leeds United with Peter Risdale.
They're worse.
Well, I don't know if they rented a goldfish like he did.
Well, say hi to Tony Stark's best friend, Jarvis. It's Tactical Devils. Really enjoyed your input yesterday. Also, just touch on that. Jale saying here about the issue. Pau, Victor, and Daniel Olmo can play for Barcelona again after Spain's National Sports Council, CSD, gave the club provisional permission to register the pair. Okay. That's from Ben Jacobs, a reliable source, I imagine. Yeah. Simon Warner's saying here, just what is actually wrong with Rashi? All right, we know it's fake, isn't it? I'm assuming it's fake. He's not sick.
Yeah,
he's not sick. All right, he's
not eking out his sickness though. Like, he's not being allowed in the squad. He's being forced out, and they're saying that he's sick. So Rashford would probably love to play a game of football. I would think at the moment. But
you re-put your soul, man. You should have shut his mouth.
Yeah, about that interview with the.
What? Tell me more. What's about the interview?
Oh, bloody hell, Yabba! You know the interview that he gave, saying that he wants to leave and he wants a new challenge.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh God, nothing new. It's all right. Don't worry.
All right, just a quick one about another player that I wasn't expecting this. Atletico Madrid keeping tabs on Garnacho. Man United would consider a sell if a big money offer comes in. That's from Talk Sport. We were talking yesterday about our valuable assets, and I think Garnacho, Kobe are those guys, with Ahmad, who's just signed a new deal. So I'm a bit surprised by this, but obviously with the issues that he's had with his brother and being in and out the side, do you think Garnacho wants out of Man United, or is he sort of thinking long term that he's going to be one of these guys who plays there for a couple of years and then goes to the sunny Spain?
Well, that appears to be his plan, isn't it? It's sort of like he loves Ronaldo, he worships him. He's a Madrid boy, Garnacho. He went through the Leti youth academy. He's made no bones about the fact that he'd like to play out in Spain again. I think it's more a question of what price that we'd accept, because Garnacho's got a lot of good qualities, and he's a good player, but he's so raw at the moment, and the way we've sort of we haven't really developed players over the years. I'd prefer, to be honest, to get money and build a team that isn't in 14th for next season and go from there, because at the moment it's very clear we've got to sort the financial side of the football club out. We've got to build a new stadium, and we've got to recruit for a new squad. So that's a lot of pressure on money that we don't have. And I think that if we can get anything over 60 million for Garnacho, it should definitely be considered.
Mr. B.
I wouldn't be happy with any of the young guns going, but I think he's the one who will probably generate the most money abroad. Kobe probably generate the most money being sold here, but I think Garnacho, I think maybe they probably see maybe stuff that we don't see in him. 60 mil, I think you bite your hand off for it. You don't even have to worry about add-ons or whatever, because I wouldn't see him going to Atletico and then being able to sell him more than the 60 million that they would have paid for him. If they could get him, then fine, but then maybe that's favoritism, because I wouldn't want Kobe to do it, and there's probably somebody who'll say, they sell Kobe, then they wouldn't have to sell Garnacho. So I suppose it's who you prefer. I prefer Kobe over Garnacho.
Mr. B, when you look at it, with Rashford being rumoured to be coming out of the club, wouldn't Garnacho be thinking, right, now's my time to really state my claim? He's got rid of Martial, he's got rid of Rashford now, and Dan James or whoever was blocking his way into the first team. He's got a real chance now to cement his place in the team. Yeah,
but football players are selfish. Maybe he doesn't want to have to fight for his place. Maybe he feels that he's proven it already, being a Puskas goal winner. Maybe he feels that he doesn't need to. He just needs to turn up.
He's won as well, like the Copa de America or whatever for Argentina.
What's that?
He's won the equivalent of the Euros in South America with Argentina this summer.
Did he play? Was he an integral part of the squad?
No, but he was a part of the squad. He was part of their game model.
I get it. He was what's his name?
Like Jared Bowen, if England had won, similar to like that. He was part of the squad and he was used.
Okay.
He's also trained with Messi and Ronaldo. That's amazing, that, isn't it?
I know, crazy, isn't it?
That's Scott McTominay.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah,
absolute legend. All right, just a couple. I'm going to go for some comments quickly. So, Rashford made his bed. He can lie in it. Says Agile Beast. Simon Warner saying here, Garnacho would love to play Champions League football, but that could take ages at Man United. So that's could turn in his head. We deserve better. Man United will listen to offers for Mainu, Garnacho, and Haaland. United are not seeking to offload, but the trio are not untouchable. Offers will also be considered for Euro, De Ligt, and Ugarte. That's from the Guardian.
No chance. Guardian.
Yes, chance.
No.
If someone comes in with silly money,
for Euro,
yes, everyone has a price tag.
You sound like the $1 million man. Everyone has a price.
Nothing in life cannot be negotiated. There is always a price, and the thing is that if Real Madrid come in the summer with 80 million for Euro, we'll take it.
Wow. How bad are these problems? I mean, look,
they're bad.
Wow. Never known us to be in this sort of financial difficulty.
We very nearly filed for bankruptcy 2 years ago. Like, I mean, like the Glazers and Woodward have mismanaged the club beyond belief. Like we've spent 1.2 billion or something since Fergie left, and a third of that was spent by Ten Hag in the last 2 years. Like it's really really bad, our finances, and on top of that, because we're so commercially driven, we have all these bloody targets in Adidas contracts and Snapdragon deals and things like that. So if we don't get Champions League for a certain amount of time, like not only do the wages go down of the players, but also of like the sponsorship that's coming in. So we have to right the financial boat at the moment before we can before we can say actually we're not going to accept this amount of money for Diego Dalot or for like Kobe or whatever. We've got to sort our finances out.
Just touch on these comments, guys. Ganacho's immature brother is a problem, says Agile Beast. Here's one, Tactical Devils. We've already touched on this, but just to be punchy, with Ahmad's new contract, does the panel worry about potential decline in his performance? We've seen so many talented players lose their edge once they secure big money, like Ras. Who's Ras? And Rashford, probably, Sancho and Pogba. I don't have any issues with Ahmad, to be honest, at his age. Look at the picture. He's pointing at Mr. B, saying, yeah, you can back me, man. You can back me. You guys, any issues with his attitude now he's got a new contract?
No, I think that the loans were really important. He'll remember his time at Glasgow Rangers and at Sunderland, and he doesn't want to go back down the leagues and things like that. I think that's one thing that's really important. Is Ahmad had to fight all his life. Like his childhood is ridiculous and stuff like that. And I think that sort of fear doesn't really leave you. And Ahmad's fought for everything. These players here have had it easy from a young age, and I don't think Ahmad has. So I hope, my hope is that no, he's not going to give up.
Mr. B, any concerns from you about Ahmad's attitude?
No, none whatsoever. I think he seems like a humble guy. I don't think it'll go to his head at all. I think it's a great move for him. It's a great move for us. I don't see us having any issues with Ahmad.
Okay, guys, we've got about 10 minutes left, so I've got a couple of questions to ask the panel. If you've got any questions you want to ask the panel, just get them in now, and I will bring them up. Quick fire for Mr. B and bath time. Here we go. These are just statements. Could see Garnacho teaming up with Kane and Tommy if he goes broad as Simon Warner. Shea Lacey, supposed to be the next big winger, 17 years old. He needs to grow a bit. He's quite talented though. Price is right now. Yeah, all the game shows are on tonight. Indeed, bath time. He agrees with you about what you say about the finances. Big up to Kieran. I don't really care if they go. We've survived before. We'll survive again. Okay, Cadet saying yeah. No mention of Dalot and Bruno. I'll talk about it later about Bruno's captaincy. Big up Chat Sport said ticket prices have risen as well. Talking about trying to sort out the finances unless you're Portuguese. Simon Warner saying here mainly won't go. He's the future. If you're going to sell offload players, then why not put Collier on the list as he's not getting much playing time as well. Genuine question on Ahmad. We are at the point where he can step up as a star player. Are we at the point where he can step up and be a star player? His stats aren't overwhelming. 3 goals, 6 assists in 18 games this season. Are we expecting too much from him, Punchy, before I go to the other ones?
1 out of 2. That's a goal or an assist every other game. I see a lot of weaknesses in Ahmad's game, particularly in and around the box. If he can sort those out, I don't doubt his quality. You can see his ball striking from corners is excellent. He wins a hell of a lot of 1v1 defensive duels. He's got sort of clutch goals and things. I think he's overrated by our fan base, but I think he's a good player.
Okay. I'm going to go to the questions because we finally get some questions for the panel. Mr. B, I've started so I finish. Question for you. Which managerial era have you enjoyed the most post Fergie?
So I'm sure he asked me this question yesterday, and I said none. I haven't enjoyed.
What have you enjoyed?
All right. The one that I enjoyed the most was probably. Oh fuck. It definitely wasn't Joe.
I started to finish.
I don't know. Yeah, it definitely wasn't Jose. I know it was Ollie. I said Ollie was fun, but Ollie was I'll say Ollie just because it was a chaotic madness.
I agree. For me,
I'll go on
COVID,
it. Yeah.
the COVID era, like it was great having those crazy performances, not losing away from home. Like I loved that team.
Okay. Any more questions coming in? I've got a question for the panel here. I'm going to ask you this. So, Rio Ferdinand, he said 95% of my toughest games in football were in Man United's training games. You got to remember, I was playing against Wayne Rooney, Tevez, Berbatov, Cristiano Ronaldo, Nani, Luis Saha, and every day. That's better than 95% of the players out there today. So, do you agree with him? Like, we're talking about Wayne Rooney,
Levels
Tevez,
of players.
Berbatov, Ronaldo, Nani, Saha. Wow, what a list of talent there.
It's left Tevez off, has he?
No, you said Tevez.
Tevez.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just blank that name when I hear it.
I mean, look, all those players there, I would fancy any one of them would be like our best player right now, I imagine.
It's a joke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look how the standards have fallen. I mean, Nani, at the time, I liked Nani, but I didn't think he was like, one of the. But he walked straight in. All of them walked straight into the team. It's ridiculous, man.
Well, it's like when we talk about like the training models and tactical periodization and all that kind of stuff, you are so benefited by like having really, really good players to train against. Like, because those players made Rio a better defender. Because it's like, all right, Viduka and Q were probably a bit tricky at Leeds United, but he was also going up against, like, I don't know, Harpal Singh and Michael Bridges and players that were nowhere near that level. But he also made them better players. And when you look at, like, Hoyland and what I think is his lack of development in holding up the ball, like, playing against Martinez and maybe Evans and Maguire and so on, like, they're not giving him enough of a challenge where he has to improve.
That's my point with Rashford.
Yeah. Like that, and and also, like, all our left wingers, like Rashford, haven't played against our best left back, which is Shaw, for 2 or 3 years. Like, not only does not having a proper left back in our team cost us during games, it means that they're up against Presumio Collier and Amrabat and people like that. And then they turn up against Robinson, at Fulham and get absolutely done. So it's really important to raise the entire floor of the squad, which is why I think that all of you have been very beastly to me when I said that we should get 2 or 3 players that are there for training only, that raise the standards in training.
Okay, no. It's training is where it's at, isn't it? Another question. Thanks, Tactical Devil. I have asked, you've got time's ticking. Here's another question for the panel. Who is the most talented youngster you had high hopes for but didn't make it? It could be anywhere. I mean, it started with Man United, but anywhere else in football, world football, anyone you've seen growing up or a friend you grew up with or someone like that. Talk to me about it. Start with you, Mr. P. So give me one for Man United, one for world football, and one for local talent.
United. Fucking hell.
You had high hopes for him, but he didn't make it. Most talented.
I don't know.
I hope you're thinking about this as well.
No, I'm thinking. I have no idea.
United, world
I'm
football.
gonna need more time than that.
Local then. What about local?
Johnson names.
Yeah. That'll do.
Janusai.
No.
Ravel Morrison.
See, the thing with Ravel Morrison, you kind of hear about him afterwards, not at the time. I didn't really hear about him at the time, to be fair. You heard about him more in interviews that they gave afterwards when he had already left. You know he supports Arsenal, right?
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he supports Arsenal.
Does Welbeck count?
No. Yeah, but he's gone on to have
great career. He's like one of my favourite United players ever. I love Danny Welbeck so much. He broke my heart. Zidane Iqbal, Hannibal.
You know what,
Will
Hannibal more probably because of his hair. I was a bit gutted when he left to go. Burnley.
Was it like losing your hair all over again?
Do you know what? Piss off.
You're teeing him up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Martial says we deserve better. Luke
Oh,
Shaw,
yes.
these are names.
Really?
Man United. Jonathan Spector.
Martial.
Chris
What about
Eagle.
Chadwick? Luke Chadwick?
No, I wouldn't put him in there. Lee
Makeda?
Sharp had much more in him, says we deserve better. So, look, just going back, because this is taking too long.
Shola.
Mr. B, hurry up.
Shola.
Who was the most talented youngster you had high hopes for but didn't make it? Man United, football in general, or
I go Shola. Shola. Yeah. My son had him on his shirt, innit? Yeah. I thought he was good. I thought he was. He was. Well, fuck off! You asking the wrong guy.
I'll go for Endrick.
All right, he's still young.
Yeah, but
no, sorry. I mean Kurlon. He was the seal dribbler.
Yeah.
Or Denilson.
Denilson's a good one.
Tell us half time. Anyone you grew up with, you saw played with, that didn't make it? Like someone we don't know. Tell us about.
Not really. Like the most talented player that I knew, like made it, and is still quite prominent in the game and doesn't have a lot of time for me anymore, unfortunately. But he did invite me to a match over Christmas, but I wasn't going because I deserve better than that.
The one I would say, sorry, go on, is there anyone else by half time?
No, not really.
There's a guy locally called Paul Yates. He was an amazing player for me. Like in my age group, I went to school with him, everything else. Played for Chelsea, all this kind of, but never made it. He had knee problems and he just went downhill. And I asked him to come on the show recently. Got in touch with him. He said he's got that bad. He doesn't even want to talk about football. You ask anyone around here, this area, Paul Yates was the man. You mentioned that name, you're like, wow, Paul Yatesy. He was the best footballer. But now he doesn't want to talk about football anymore.
He's so depressed.
He's disheartened with it. He just doesn't want to talk. He actually text me back, said, sorry, man, but to be honest, I don't even want to discuss football anymore. I'm over it. It's like, wow, couldn't believe that. So, and going back to Man United, I think we had Peter Beardsley on the books, and we decided to put Mark Hughes at the club. We decided we didn't need him at that time when the squad wasn't really that big. It was in Ron Atkinson's time. We also had David Platt at one point as well, I think. So these are players that were good, and I would have liked to see at the club more. That's a really good question. Remember, obviously, Freddie Adu.
I'm convinced that he was. Do you remember there used to be this issue with African footballers in the early 90s? Yeah, having the. I think Freddie Adu reeks of a 17 or 18-year-old that was playing at a 15-year-old's level. Yeah. Like he ended up at Rangers, I think.
He went everywhere. Yeah. He went everywhere. Freddie Adu.
And just by the way, I've just noticed. I saw a thing the other day. You know, Patrick.
I've thought of one.
Patrick Kluivert. He's got about 4 or 5 sons, all in professional football. We know Justin, but he's got an older brother. Justin's about 26. There's a guy who's about 28 playing in Dutch football. Beyond that, there's another guy playing for Barcelona under 18s right now. These are all brothers, all from Patrick Kluivert. I've got it here. Justin is at Bournemouth right now. Shane is 17 years old. He's at Barcelona. Ruben is 21 years old. He's at Casa, some club called Casa. And then Quincy is 27 and he's playing for a Dutch side. I can't pronounce.
I've remembered a player, Yabba.
Yeah, talk to me.
There was a guy I played against in Chile. So I was in like the youth development league, and we used to play like, you know, there'd be like, there were normally always Brazilians, but occasionally we'd play against some tiny little Chilean. And there was a guy, I think he might have been called Nicolas Milan or something like that. And he was proper young, like he was 14 or 15. And he was an absolute nightmare to play against. And about 3 months after I played him, he got his debut for Colo-Colo, which is like the biggest club in Chile, at about 15 years old. And he did absolutely nothing with his career. Absolutely nothing. Shit. And there was another guy called Mati Fernandez who went to Villarreal.
Yeah, I know him.
Yes, I played against him when he was coming back from injury, I think.
Oh, wow, what a player.
And he was crap that day.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't trying. Do you know what I mean? He was getting his half an hour or whatever. But he did. I think we played him twice, and the second game he killed us, just his running and stuff like that. And he did nothing in Europe. And when you see these players up close, like Yatesy or whatever, and you're like, these guys are just head and shoulders above me, and then you see them like struggling in professional football, you're like, Actually, I'm not saying Dan
What was it?
Ashworth
What
is
was
wrong.
it? What was it? Head and shoulders above? Was it the running? Was it the passing? Was it the movement?
Speed
Was
of
it...
action. That's always what they do. Everything faster and harder. Like, because I obviously had like Gil's son. Like, I played with him at university, and he'd like been in like a Champions League squad and stuff. And I don't know how the hell he ended up in our university team, but he quit football to come and play. And he was obviously stronger and faster than everyone else, but like physically. But all of the actions, everything he did, it was so much quicker. It was getting the ball under control quicker, passing it faster, shooting, reacting. It was he was playing, and it was like for us, we were playing like as fast as we could, but for him, everything was in slow motion. And when you hear people like Bergkamp being interviewed, it's always about how they see the game, like slower, as it were, than everyone else. And for me, the best players are not the ones that are doing Ronaldinho flicks and tricks. It's just they process everything faster and they react faster, and it means you're always playing catch up against them.
We do a bet saying here. We had a son of a famous footballer signed for us in the late 90s. Can't remember.
Jordi Cruyff's son. It's Cruyff, isn't it?
Yeah, must be Cruyff. Yeah, Jordi Cruyff. He signed for Barcelona, wasn't he? Because they beat us.
He was rubbish.
Do you think so?
He was
I always
rubbish.
thought Prabowski was a bit of a letdown.
We brought him up for a tournament, though, didn't we? That was probably the biggest issue.
Did he chip someone or something in that?
He chipped someone in a tournament. Yeah, Schmeichel, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh no, that was Davor Shuka, wasn't it, against Schmeichel?
No, Schmeichel's been done a few times. I think Karol Prabowski chipped Schmeichel. I think so. I'm not sure. Jermaine Pennant was a big shout here. One of the kids, but his lifestyle. I think if you look at his story,
I think Collymore. I feel the same way about.
Yeah. You know what? At one stage, I was saying that Collymore has got all the attributes to be one of the best players in world football. It's 95, 96, 97. Look what he's done to us. I mean, we were on the receiving end at Southend, Nottingham Forest, and Liverpool.
He's a legend in Oviedo.
Two-footed player as well, really talented. But is he still on the radio? Is he still doing media?
Yeah, I think he is. He was in Basic Instinct 2, I think.
Okay, do you guys actually value or listen to him? I found him a bit OTT. Made some good points, but he's trying to be too like I'm like straightforward. I'm straight talking. Too bit over the top with it. I don't know if that's to do with the mental health.
Well, like trying to be relevant, as it were, and things.
Yeah, just a bit too much for my liking. But talent as a player, I really did rate.
And he introduced dogging to the world. Like I still remember being in a car park hearing about that, and I mean, what a legend! Like, but yeah, there are some players that you look at, like, and you just think, why weren't they incredible? And Collymore, as much as I hate him for playing for Liverpool and stuff,
yeah,
the speed, the pace, the power. It's like if you put Les Ferdinand in with Alan Shearer, and yeah, he didn't have the mentality, I think, to make it.
Just a stat that came up yesterday during the game. It said the fastest to 50 goals for Newcastle in the Premiership era, and it was Andy Cole, 50 goals in 50 games. And then it was Les Ferdinand. I think he had like 60 plus games. And then you got Isaac, I think, and then Shearer was at the bottom of that. But amazing, isn't it? What a run of form for someone who's just come from Bristol City, comes to Newcastle, gets them up into the Premier League, and then scores an abundance of goals. Andy Cole, really top.
I think he was quite a difficult character, Coley, wasn't he? He's like one of the most disrespected players in Premier League history. All the goals he scored without any pens. That's right. You think about how him and Dwight York were just like, they were soulmates. They were footballing soulmates that just produced beauty.
I've got one for you.
Yeah, go on.
Did you know?
Finally,
Dwight York was brought in to replace Andy Cole?
No.
Was he?
He was brought in to replace Andy Cole, and Ferguson saw them trading and thought, "Oh shit!" And then he changed his mind. Yeah. Yeah, he was brought in to replace him.
Because there was a period, I don't think Cantona was too impressed with Andy Cole.
No, he wasn't. He
remember,
he used to have Bruno hands anytime he missed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh bloody hell! Oh bloody hell!
Yeah, but strikers are always. I always say this. Always get in trouble for this. They're always technically most inefficient players on the pitch. They've always got the worst touch. Like you look at someone like Filippo Inzaghi, he would drown in goals, but he couldn't like control the ball properly because I don't know what it is, but the ball striking you need to score goals isn't sweet and clean. It's messy and ugly and things like that. Even like, do you remember Coley's chip against West Ham when we won the league? That's an ugly technique, man, to get that ball. That's not like Karol Proborski.
But he made sure that the ball was going exactly. What might not have been pretty, but he knew exactly what he was doing.
And so I can understand why someone like Cantona, who's about aesthetics and beauty and the poetry of a moment, would look at Cole and think, "Nah, you want your goals to be perfect or whatever." And Cole, a bit like someone like Ian Wright, just doesn't care. It's about the goal. So I can see them like not getting on. Because I always thought that Sheringham and Cole seemed to be the natural strike force with Coley, running in behind and things and Sheringham finding him. But it just turned out that York and Cole were like, I don't know, I was going to say Laurel and Hardy, but they're just like, they were just made in footballing heaven for each other. Never did it at Blackburn though, did they?
Not really, no. But I think the stage they did it on as well. And remember, it's only one season really where they blew up. It wasn't meant to be. We had to like how many strikers, and we had beyond that Solskjaer, Sheringham as well. So that's 4 top strikers, but those 2 really set it off from day one. And there's one season, remember, it was one season where they really blew up. Beyond that, York was gone a few years later because of his attitude. Just going back to the guy Paul Yates, who I grew up with playing football. He just reminded me, because you mentioned something earlier. The reason he got turned to football, obviously he's had disappointments in the game and things have happened, but his dad, you were talking earlier about your young player that you played with in Chile. When you were saying that, he was ahead of his time. He was ahead of everybody else. He could do everything, but his dad used to drill him as a youngster, and I felt that was he fell out of love with the game. Do you see what I'm saying? So a lot of footballers, it's a fine balance, isn't it, to keep you on that path and keep you hungry and keep you loving the game. That's the most important thing.
I think you've got to basically be addicted. There's very strong findings, right, in psychology that if you take something that people like doing and you pay them for it, they eventually stop liking that activity. Like it's one of like the most repeatable and strongest correlations that you can find. And so with someone like Ronaldo, like that's not about enjoying football. That is a compulsion from somewhere else, sort of to be the best and things like that. And I think that in the old days at United, where we had someone like Roy Keane who was on them all the time, and Gary Neville who was on them all the time, it kind of it became more about pride, as it were. And so if you're the best and you're sort of having to do drills, it takes the love out of it and stuff, and you've got to replace it with hate, I suppose.
Yeah, most certainly. Just a few more.
That's why Mr. B's still going.
Hey guys, we have to look. I mean, we all love our football, but absolutely, Mr. B still going strong at his age. No. Look,
you know what? Like I'm dead.
Mr. B, you got a grey beard. I mean, you're going out there, and these youngsters must be saying, "Oh, no,
I won't be going out there anymore, mate. I told you I'm done."
You will.
You definitely will.
No.
You will. Give it 6 months, and you'll be lacing them predators back up again. Never underestimate an old man in a young man's game.
No,
it's great. Honestly, it's great to see you've got so much experience and everything else. And when you're going out there, and these youngsters see you, you're like a bit older, they're thinking, but
they laugh. They laugh until you clap them.
Yeah,
you fuck them up. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I've been like that, and then when I get them, I say, "Oh, sorry, because I'm old." Yeah, right. Because I'm old. I knew.
That's what I do. When I clap people, I say to the ref, "Sorry, man, I'm too old for this." Yeah, I'm a bit slow. But it's By half time we'll get there soon. He's still.
You cut him off and
Stop
send
doing
off.
this, Yabba. You're always making me injured. You're always trying to make me play at centre back. I don't spend as much time on my fitness to give up any time soon. I'm going to take up golf before I get into senior football. That's not.
Would you really?
I just see like with vets football.
You've seen what the vets are like, innit?
Yeah, I just.
Imagine you'd be like Scott McTominay at Napoli.
Maybe, but it's like it would just
The
be
joy
like
of running past all those.
no, it's just a load of
in
fat
slow
landlords.
motion. Yeah, exactly.
Like
Vets
no,
football is not like that anymore. Trust me, you're getting 35-year-olds coming straight from semi-pro, tearing it up. Vets football is getting better.
yeah, I don't know. It's just it just. I feel that vets football should be for guys in their 50s and not like. I mean, talked about it before. Like a couple of days after my 35th birthday, I got a call to go play for a vets team. Like, you cheeky bastards, not a bloody chance.
You qualified.
Right.
I mean, why not take the chance? I'm not surprised they've tried to tap you up like that. You know. But my point is that what keeps that hunger, the love for the game, to get up on these cold mornings and go out there and play. And a lot of these players fall out of love with the game when they've been playing professionally. So all three of us still love going out there and playing football.
We're addicted. Like, don't make it about love. It's an addiction.
We're not getting paid or anything. So what's the
Neither are crackheads.
I love the actual the mechanics of the game. Up against these guys, I get adrenaline rush. I get anxiety. I have to take a doo-doo in the mornings. I'm thinking about the game. I've got battles. I'm playing against that guy. I've got to get the better of him. There's so much that goes into it, and then throughout the week, I'm always thinking about the game that I played.
Yeah.
I get a lot of love, a lot of enjoyment and pride from things that I do in the game. That even a little pass, or little cut back or something. I enjoy these things. That's what gives me great pleasure.
Do you ever interview yourself? Like, do you ever interview yourself in the shower or something? Pretend you're on Match of the Day, and they're talking about your performance. You're going, "Yeah, I could have done better here." Or, do you know what I mean?
I know you mean, but I don't go that far past that. Yeah, I know you do.
It's addiction. Okay.
Time coming up, but yeah, you're addicted. Mr. B's addicted, and we're addicted to Man United, no matter what we're going through at the moment. We've got a big game against Arsenal coming up. I've just heard some issue about the tickets and everything. That's going to be. We've got previews at tomorrow. It's Thursday tomorrow.
Yeah,
Friday. Is it the preview tomorrow or Friday?
Can we get the preview out of the way? Like, I hate the preview shows.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. So we'll preview that tomorrow then. Yeah, we'll do the
Okay,
preview.
so guys in the comments, preview against Arsenal tomorrow. Massive game. It's going to be a massive week. So let me know what you think when we tune in tomorrow. Probably be about 8 o'clock. No, 9 o'clock tomorrow, hopefully. So I can
Are we not watching Ashley Young versus his son tomorrow and doing a 10 o'clocker?
Is that FA Cup?
But his son's not even going to bloody play. I bet his son doesn't play.
Should we just go at 8 tomorrow?
Yeah, we've got 8 tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
his son ain't going to
I'm
play.
working today. Thanks, guys. All right.
We'll work it out. Guys, hit your
Yeah,
notification bell. Yabba said we're going to be slightly later than 8.
It's a lack a notch from me.
So lack a notch from me.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Lack a notch from me. Wrong order.
Okay. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Right, we have to start again now.
You want to start again, do you?
We're still live. I nearly said a naughty word.
All right. It's a lack a notch from me.
It's a lack a notch from me.
It's a lack of notch from me.
Yay!